one. Hello, you guys, and welcome to the
Woman's Cave. Thank you.
Thank you. Take it right out of
No, I did not. You paused so I could have it, and I feel that's gracious.
No, I was about to say it. I was just trying to clear my throat a little bit. I'm like coming up on that cold bronchitis.
You are not.
I am so.
Okay, I do agree with you, though. You probably are.
Oh, well, Nona.
What? I have been a very...
I'm Jade, though, so I'm just going to cut her off and say that I'm Jade. Well, Nona.
Yeah, I'm Nona. I just want to say I've been very well behaved this week. I deserve a present.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing hard because, yeah. Well, Nona's well behaved is everyone else's. What?
But at least I went to the gym. I did.
We did go to the gym. High five on that one.
Yeah.
Good job, ladies.
We're getting into our shape. All right.
So wait. I was going to say we have news. You guys know that the Inspirational Women in Literature Conference is coming March 16th. It will be in Bethesda, Maryland at the Writers Center from 12 p.m. to 3:45 p.m. or 3:50, whatever. It's 3-ish. 3-ish, y'all. Check it out on the website. You know how we do on this show. Okay, so now we have books. So we wrote the And I Thought series, and I thought the voice was bad with other life lessons, and I thought being grown up was easy, and I thought I could juggle it all, and I thought I did. When I did my journey alone, wow, we have so many titles, I forget, y'all. And I thought I had it all figured out. You don't, episode 1. And I thought he was the one. And the Misfit Guide series, a sassy sway that leaves crooked footprints. The Misfit Guides,
Cocktail Soirees, and the LBD.
Thank you, Winona.
And then I am the author of the Widow's Debt series. Here's 2 of the 7. Yay! We are done with books.
So you guys will check out everything that we are doing on andwethought.com and the charities that we probably support. Ladies page in the middle. Also,
could you add
there will be, hold on, wait. There will be a magazine coming out very shortly, you guys. 25 hottest indie authors, advocates, and artists. I said it wrong, but you guys know what I'm talking about.
Also, we would like to add the charity that we're going to talk about today to our list. It's not officially on our website because I mean they're really cool and stuff, but you don't want to mar their reputation putting them on our
website. That would be crazy. But because it's not well maintained. But thank you guys for keep visiting it. We appreciate it. We have our wonderful guest here today. He has come on many times, and he has written a book that will make you laugh, cry some more, laugh, and just be forever happy. So, with no further ado, wonderful guest, would you like to introduce yourself?
Wow. Hello. Good morning, ladies. Thank you so much for having me. This is absolutely a humbling experience. I think this is my 3rd time on your show. And every time I leave, I just get inspired to do more because of both of you. And, now that I've seen all these books that you all have written, which, by the way, I hope all of our listeners are reaching out and buying those books because they truly can help you every single day. It makes me want to think maybe I should write a 2nd book.
Yes!
So.
we're always with 2nd books. We're with it.
No, when I read it, I was like, we need a 2nd book on just the emotional happiness he's having. I'm sorry. It's your turn.
It's your show.
Yeah.
It's my show. No, it's our show. I say it all the time. This is our show today. First of all, thank you for reading our book. It was today, I'm so excited to be on the show with you today because today is the 2-year anniversary that our Upworthy video was released. And so Upworthy video that was released is actually how this journey started for me to get a book going. And I looked at the video today and 105 million people all over the world have viewed this video. It is the most liked, viewed, and shared video in Upworthy history, and we've had another 50 million shares off of it. So what it tells me is that people want to talk about the foster care system. They want to talk about the foster care system so we can demand change. We can all sit around and talk about things, but if you're not demanding change and seeing things happen, then really, what is our purpose? What is our purpose? And that's what I'm hoping that as people who read our book really get motivated to say, you know what? I can make change within our system. I said this the other day to someone. I'm not waiting for our government to step up and make change because I've given them over 50 years to do this. But what I'm going to do is to show our government that when communities get together, when leaders get together, we do make change. We do make change. You know, we've given out over 44,000 cases to children in the foster care system in the United States. Right now, we've hit 43 states, DC and Puerto Rico. And we're not stopping. And by the way, we're not getting any help from any corporate sponsors, which I would love to have, nor is any government signing me a good grant to make sure that we eliminate trash bags. But I will tell you that by the end of this year, when we hit our goal and eliminate trash bags in the United States, I'm going to be the first guy to walk up on Capitol Hill and demand a meeting to say, look what you do when we all come together as one. Come together as one. Children who enter our system do not care whether you are red or blue or green or purple. What they care about is that they matter to you. They matter to you. So I hope that that's what people get when they read our book.
Okay, so how are you supposed to, like, after that inspirational speech, I'm like, I'm about to get a sign and go?
Oh, I have a question. I don't, yeah. So let's just explain what it is that you do for people that might be just first joining in and haven't listened to the other two.
Sure. So first of all, my most important job is the fact that I'm a father. I'm a father to 4 of the most amazing children that I feel that were put on this planet. My beautiful daughter, Amaya, who is 14, her brother, Makai, who is 12, my son, Grayson, who is 11, and our baby, Tristan, who is 10 years old. That, to me, is my most important job. But at the same time, I'm a leader. And I believe that each and every one of us are leaders. And as leaders, we do not have the right to sit on the sidelines and watch a game being played. We must get in it and play and shake it up. Well, that's what we decided to do 5 years ago. 5 years ago, my husband, Reese, and I decided that we wanted to step up and show our children that one person, that one family, that one community could make a difference. And we started a charity called Comfort Cases, a charity that truly is going to bring hope and dignity to our foster youth. See, most people do not realize that out of the 438,000 children that are in our foster care system, that they actually use trash bags as luggage. Trash bags. You know, how do you think this makes them feel? You wonder why the kids say that they feel invisible or disposable, because we as a society has allowed this to happen. Well, you know, that weighed heavy on my heart when my 4 children arrived in our home 10 years ago, actually last month, and they all 4 carried a trash bag. It made me remember the days that when I was a homeless teenager, when I was 18 in my senior year of high school, I remember hiding my trash bag. I remember that I didn't want people to know that I carried a trash bag because I didn't want people to make sure that that trash bag was defining me. Well, I'm realizing that that's happening every single day. And so Reese and I decided that we were going to do something different. We were going to bring our community together. And by the way, at that particular time, 5 years ago, I truly felt that our community was our zip code. I thought my community was 20878, 20874, and that's what I should look after. Wrong. I had that aha moment where I realized that my community is not my zip code. It is our human race. Our human race is our community. Our forefathers built communities for only one reason, and that was for you and I to take care of each other. No matter where you live, whether you live in my beautiful town of Darnestown, Maryland, or you're located in Seattle, or maybe Austin, Texas, we are all part of the same community, and the community that must demand change. So we said, let's do it. Let's make sure that every child who enters the system knows they matter. Let's give them a brand new pair of pajamas with a tag on it. Let's make sure they get a toothbrush, a bar of soap, shampoo, lotion, conditioner. Give them a book. You know, I will say this all the time to people. The one thing that separates each and every one of us is our education level. Our education level. We must get children to love to read. You as authors know how important it is. We need to make sure that children know that the fundamental basics of reading can change your life. See, when I was homeless, I sat in the public library at night, and I would read every book I got my hands on. I would read those books to escape from the pain that was around me. But I also read those books because I knew for a fact that if I read, I would learn. And so I read. So we make sure that we put a book in every single case. And by the way, there's no such thing as a used book. It's only a book that's been loved. We all write books, you as authors, me as an author. We write books for only two reasons. One, for you to love it in your mind. Two, love it in your heart. But then after you do that, do the book some justice. Pass it on. Pass it on. Do not allow a book to sit on a bookshelf and collect dust. You're doing no justice to that book. Love it in your mind, love it in your heart, then pass it on. And then the other thing that we do is we put a blanket in every case. And I remind people all the time, there is no child in this system that is cold. The blanket is because my son Grayson, who was 6 years old at the time, said, "Daddy, we must put a blanket in the cases." I said, "A blanket?" I said, "These kids aren't cold." He said, "No, Daddy. Every time they wrap themselves up in their blankie, they know we love them." Wow. You know, when we wake up in the mornings and we put our feet on the floor, I know lots of us think to ourselves, who loves us? Are we loved? Are we wanted? I want these kids to know that they are loved and that they are wanted. I want the statistics to start changing. The statistics where we're only seeing 54% of kids in the system graduate from high school. The statistics that only 11% apply to college. And the saddest statistic is that only 2% of them will graduate with a 4-year degree. These numbers are not acceptable. That over 30,000 children will age out of our system in 2019, and out of the 30,000, 70% will be homeless within 2 years. Do you really think that they feel they matter? That they are a part of our community? No. We must change that. And I truly believe that one comfort case at a time is going to do that. For me to continue to keep talking about the plight of children in our system is going to demand change. You know, I tell people all the time, I don't know what my future will hold. I know that 2020 is just around the corner and there's some major things happening in our country. Maybe it's time for me to start talking about where I can make the most change. Maybe it's time for me to throw my hat in like all the other hundreds of people who seem to run for office. Because the only thing I have seen is people run for office and nothing has changed. We have to change something with our children. So that's comfort cases. We do it every single day. And I'm so, so proud to be a part of it.
Absolutely.
So honestly, he just made that like the best organization on earth right now.
I mean, it was always a really great organization. And I remember we were in Kensington and that's where we found out about you guys. And I said, okay, to Winona, we have to have him come on the show because we have to talk about giving children some cases, some hard Samsonite things that they can take on with a life, like a good suitcase, so they can have it for 10, 12, 15 years, like everybody else. But let's talk about your book and where people get your book. Yes.
Let's talk about. No, I had an actual question. First of all, I know that when you're saying this about like going out there and developing comfort cases, I love the fact that you were like a one-man warrior, and that they really hated you at Child Services. That was awesome. How did you feel fighting that battle? Because I know a lot of our friends, when they have to work with the government or anything like that to support themselves, they want to give up. How did you not give up?
Well, I will tell you, I'm probably the most loved and disliked man when it comes to child and family services throughout the country. Okay? Truly am. And the reason for that is because I don't care. I don't care. At the end of the day, I don't care what anyone thinks, because my job is to be there for the children. My job is to be the voice of the children. You know, I had somebody reach out to me just recently and asked me, how could I have done Chris Wallace Fox News? And I said, excuse me? And they said, how could you have gone on Fox News? You're a gay man with 4 African-American kids. How could you have done that? I said, excuse me? I said, first of all, let's understand something. Children in our system do not care what your political belief is. So what I had in my mind for the 5 years and the 10 years actually that we've been battling the system since our children arrived is that I need to make sure that when my children look at me, they say, Dad, you did everything you could. See, so many times I see people who hear the plight of children in the system and they cover their head and they say, not my kids. You know, these aren't my kids. These aren't my problems. Yes, they are. They are your children. They're my children. This is our problem. You know, I hear all the time about prisons that are being built. More and more and more prisons that are being built. We're building those prisons because of the fact that we are graduating these children from the foster care system to the penitentiary. That's it. Not because they're bad kids, because we have given them no guidance. So, you know what? There were days that it was lonely. There were days that I looked at my children and I had to engulf their love because I needed the strength to go on. But, you know, my skin's gotten tougher. And I realized that the battle is not over. I have lots of scars because of it, but I am continuing to fight this battle. And by the way, I'm not fighting it alone anymore. I'm not just one man, one backpack trying to make a world of difference. I am one man with the backing of the most amazing community, my human race, who is saying, Rob, we are there with you. We are there with the 438,000 children. We are there to make a difference. So
I know you mentioned it in the book about the emotional fulfillment that having a family and finally winning some of these battles has had. But can you tell us about how it feels now to know you have the backing while you're fighting this uphill battle that seems to never, ever go downhill?
You know, for you to say that, to think about it, this has been the most unbelievable experience for a kid like me. You know, if you read our book, you'll see that my childhood wasn't like most people. The feeling of wanting to be loved, to wanting to have a forever family is something I've wanted my whole life. And to really wake up in the morning and for the first time in my life, I like me. I like me. And you know what? I'm proud of myself because my children are proud of me. It's amazing. It's amazing. And by the way, you know, I had a new video that just came out just recently, and we've got about 700,000 views and it's growing, but it talks about my battle with depression. It talks about what my family goes through because of what I consider dropping into the well. See, most people don't realize that even in the last 5 years, I battle from very deep depression. I am probably my worst critic. And I remember, you know, about a year and a half ago before the book even came out, that I had fallen in that well. It was dark. And, you know, as many times as I know that there are ropes there for me to grab a hold of and people want to pull me out, you cannot pull yourself out of that well until you're ready. And it was my son, Tristan, who crawled into bed with me because I had not gotten out of bed for days. And he said, Daddy, I need you. That to me was something that changed my life at that moment. And I'm not saying I'm not going to fall back in that well again, because it's hard. But what I know is the fact that I'm okay if I fall in that well, and I don't have to be ashamed of that well. And I don't have to have people think that mental illness is something that we should shy away from. It affects hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people. So I just want to live my life as pure as possible.
Please don't get me on my soapbox, because, you know, I have a soapbox about mental illness.
No, not a soapbox today.
I
do not appreciate.
I'm not gonna get on my soapbox. But yeah, I think you heard the call of what all parents hear sometimes. You know, moms or dads are tired, don't want to do it, just I just don't want to, and your children call to you, and you're like, "Yep, time to get up, time to do what we don't want to do, time to go where we don't want." I don't have any children, but I've seen my mom and dad do it many, many, many times, although I'm grown and out of their house. I've still seen them do it many, many times and be like, we're tired, but we're coming because you called me and you need some help.
Yeah.
And that is part of your forever family. So where can people find your book?
So, our book is available at Amazon and Barnes and Noble. I've seen them in airports and local bookstores, and I'm just so excited. And understand something. When you purchase a Forever Family, it helps us build cases at Comfort Cases. See, we're donating part of the proceeds to our charity. This wasn't about my husband and I, selling a book and making money. It was about us writing a book for our children to show that we all can make a difference. We all can make a difference. Writing this book was probably one of the hardest things I ever did. I remember many nights in a fetal position and yesterday I was at my center and a woman walked up to me and she said, I just got your book. And she says, and I sat down and started reading it and I couldn't put it down. And she says, I read it all the way in one day. She says, the book moved me. It moved me. And I think and I hope and I want that to happen to people who read our book, A Forever Family. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of the reviews that we've gotten. And by the way, my ladies who are authors will tell you reviews are so important.
Yes,
if you have purchased the book and you have read the book, please go on Amazon, go on Barnes and Noble, go on any type of site that you belong to.
Goodreads also.
Goodread, and write a review. Write a review.
Even if it's just like 2 words, like great. And it doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter. Or just great. Or good.
Exactly.
Or a bad review, because that still makes it more valuable to people. So
exactly.
Good reviews, bad reviews, in between reviews, every author needs reviews.
So I've been very lucky. I've had lots and lots of reviews, but I finally had my first bad review, and I was
congratulations, you have graduated.
Thank you. I was heartbroken in the first 5 minutes, and then I thought, are you kidding me? And her whole reasoning was to write the bad review because she informed me that she didn't believe any of my story was true. And I said, and I replied back to her, by the way, and I said, excuse me. I said, first of all, you don't write a book with Simon & Schuster and Derek Jeter, the baseball player who published my book, without them doing their background checks. So, this was my story. This is what I lived. This was my children's story. It's not for you to say what's true and what's not. And that's the whole purpose of reading this book. Maybe you didn't realize what you should have gotten out of it. And what you should get out of it is the fact that we all can make a difference. All of us, no matter where we come from.
But congratulations on your first bad review. Like, that's
Thank you.
Amazing. It's amazing. It's a graduating thing. You're like, oh, a bad review. Okay, now people are really going to believe the good reviews because, they're not going to believe the good thing. It's all your friends and family just putting up these reviews. But when you have a bad one, they're like, oh, so maybe these are people that they don't know. How about that? So congratulations. You'll probably get about 10 or 12 for it, and that's fantastic.
Yes. Well,
I believe Winona's saying my saying is that you like haters more than you like people who actually like you because they do more to discredit you. Yeah, so they're going to keep buying books and tell other people about it and hand it to other people to read it and tell you, can you believe this? And
Thank you for donating to my charity.
But anyway,
I appreciate it.
I just want to say for that second book, now that you have a bad review, you no longer have an excuse not to have that second book because our bad review got us our second book, so we're expecting a new one.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
All right, tell everyone where they can find information about Comfort Cases, how they can support you, any events coming up.
So first of all, please visit comfortcases.org. Comfortcases.org and see how you can impact our community. See how you truly can make a difference. See how you can be a part of this amazing movement. It's happening. And things that are coming up, I'm still on my book tour, and so I'm still hitting bookstores, and I'm very excited. I just found out today the paperback will be out in May, the end of May. The audiobook is available right now. Last week, I was absolutely so thrilled to have a meeting with Tiffany Haddish, the comedian, who grew up in the system and is trying to make sure that we have no more trash bags. My husband and I have just got back from Canada filming a show called called Vacations of the Brave. And so we filmed a show for Amazon. So we're excited, you know, go to your local listings at Amazon Prime for Vacations of the Brave and see all the other things that are happening with comfort cases and the Scheer 6. We're not going to stop just with this. You're going to see me again, ladies. I'm going to come to you and maybe announce some really good stuff because you're in my backyard and we're always going to be friends.
All right. Well, we know you. We love having you on the show, Robert. Thank you so much for coming on, you guys out there. Please go and support Comfort Cases. Wait, can I finish my statement before you? I was being serious and professional. What was I saying? Okay, so yes, please go and support Comfort Cases. Sometimes it's maybe not money, but just time, because sometimes people don't have a lot of money, but they have time. So see what you can do in your local community, and we'll know not.
I just want to say, I want to put this out here because I'm this kind of person, all or nothing. So yes, it's wonderful that you give money and time and things to Comfort Cases, but let's put a dare out to our listeners. Can you please sign up to be foster parents?
Yes. Yes.
If you a step more.
Okay.
If you have the circumstances.
And if you're nice, if you're mean, just don't even bother.
So let me tell you something. This is how I end all my talks, okay? Something everybody should know. Number one, if you cannot adopt, foster. If you cannot foster, volunteer. And if you cannot volunteer, I want you to walk into the bathroom, look at yourself in the mirror, and ask yourself, what is your purpose? What is your purpose? Because we as a human race should always be wanting to help our next person. We should always be volunteering. Be a doer. Be a doer. Doers is what makes our world go round. Maybe you can't foster, but go to a group home and read to a child. Maybe you cannot foster. Go to a group home and help with homework. Shoot some basketball. Brush a young girl's hair. Let them know they matter. What's your purpose? Thank you.
Okay, so
you can find everything we're doing on inwethought.com.
And yeah,
that's
peace and love, you guys, from Winona
and Jade.
Yeah, I'm gonna we just switch it up too, because you're not Jade and I'm not. Oh well, whatever. You already know. Bye.
Bye, ladies.